everybody, how's it going? This is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. And today I want to show you how to play 3 cool riffs from the Rolling Stones. Now, as you probably already know, a lot of the Rolling Stones material, probably, the vast majority of it by far, is in alternate tunings. Keith Richards plays a lot in different open tunings and stuff. So we're not going to be doing these in open tunings. These are just alternative ways to play them in standard tuning, so that way you can describe your guitar and play these riffs. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at these. Alright, so the very first one we're going to look at is Gimme Shelter. So for this, we're going to come up and we're going to take our first finger and we're just going to bar it at the 6th fret across the D and G string. Now, you can get the B and E string along with it, but these are the 2 notes we're looking for. And then this is all made up of 8th notes. So we start off, we play the D string and then the G string. 1 and then on the downbeat of 2, we're going to put our 2nd finger down onto the 7th fret of the B string and our 3rd finger onto the 8th fret of the G string. And we're going to 2 and 3 and then we take our 3rd finger off, 4 and. So it's fairly easy to count, but it's kind of a thing that you don't want it to be like super really tight and emphasized on those 8th notes. You kind of want to have it, it's got a little bit of a little swing to it. Now, when you put your fingers down here, where I keep having a problem with doing is that my 2nd finger will go to the B string, and my 3rd finger sometimes will drop onto the D string instead of the G string, because it's just like, from all the riffs that are like that, where you're like hammer into like a minor 7th chord. So that's where I keep getting kind of tripped up. So when you're practicing, you can hear if you get the wrong one. Then we just simply move that down a whole step. So now we're barring at the 4th fret, and we do the exact same thing, but just we're on the 4th fret of the D and the G string, and then the 5th fret of the B string, and the 6th fret of the G string. Do the same thing. We lift our 3rd finger off and keep our 2nd finger onto the B string. Then we move all the way down, so now we're barring at the 2nd fret, and now the notes on the G and B string are changing. So we're at the 2nd fret on the D and the G string, and then we're going to play the 4th fret of the G string with our 3rd finger and the 4th fret of the B string with our 4th finger. And then the whole thing just repeats. Alright, so the next one we're going to look at is Jumpin' Jack Flash. This one's very simple. So we start off with a B major bar chord, so picking up the 5th fret of the A string with my 1st finger, or excuse me, the 2nd fret of the A string, and then I'm on the 4th fret of the D, G, and B string with my 3rd finger, just like that. So this is, it's 1 and 2, and then we're going to go, so when we hit this on the downbeat of 2, it's tied to the downbeat of 3, so it's like 2, 3, and 4, and. So that is 2nd fret of the D string with my first finger, to the 4th fret, and then to the 2nd fret of the G string. And 4 and. So that's like the first measure. And then starting on the 2nd measure, this note is tied to the downbeat of 1. So it's like these two are 8th notes, and then this one is a quarter note, equivalent. So. Then it does it again. Okay, so starting on the 2nd measure, this note's already ringing over 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then it would just repeat. So the riff is only 2 measures long, but there's 4 measures on here because it just repeats. So now you can kind of spice it up, and instead of picking all these notes, you can pick hammer. There's sometimes on there you can hear where he's doing, a hammer on, and sometimes he's picking both notes. So you can just kind of mix it up. All right, and then the final one we're going to look at is Start Me Up. So for this, we're going to come up and we're going to bar at the 5th fret across the D, G, and B string. Now, this has that, like what I was talking about earlier when we were doing Gimme Shelter, when you were playing on the B string and then a half step up on the G string. Now we're going to be doing that same thing, but it is going to be where we're skipping over. So we're going from this, where we're barring the across the 5th fret of the D, G, and B string. And then we're going to keep that bar there, but then put our 2nd finger down on the 6th fret of the B string and our 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the D string. So this first one is coming in on the and of 4. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and then it just repeats. So then we go with it on twice, off twice, 3 times, and then back on. So. Then we hit on the and of 4 just the D and the G string open, and then we're going to jump down here. So this riff is actually probably easier overall if you're playing it with the in the open tuning, but this isn't too terribly tough. It just takes a little bit of practice and you can get this. So we're going to come down here, 6th fret of the low E with my first finger, and the 8th fret with my 2nd finger, because we're going to do this little shuffle thing. So we go from, the note on the low E stays on 6, but the one on the A string goes from 8 to 10. And then it just starts over again. So there you have it, 3 riffs from the Rolling Stones that originally are played in open tunings, but in this case, and I'm not 100% sure if all 3 of those are originally done in open tunings. I know that Start Me Up is, but the other 2 I'm not certain. I just figured them out just in a way to play them in standard tuning. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this. related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.